We were born to
If the sky turns black, it don't matter. We know the sun is coming up. We were born to run.
How's it going, guys? I'm here with my yearly WWE The Year 2013 video. Basically just giving, I don't want to call it an award video, but I don't want to call it a year in review video because I'm not really reviewing the whole year. I'm just basically giving out the best of. So, in a way, it is an award video, I guess, but I don't like considering the video that. But that's technically basically what it is. But yeah, 2013 for the WWE, definitely not one of its best years by any means. This year, I would say for the most part, there was a lot of bad, but there was also a lot of good. So this year was just, it was like a decent to mediocre year, I would say. I think we got a lot of good stuff on Raw and SmackDown, but their pay-per-views were like really disappointing, really just downhill this year. So the TV was good, but the pay-per-views just weren't very good. Well, for the most part, they had quite a few great pay-per-views this year, but for the most part, it was just whatever, just not a very good year. Hopefully they set their game up in 2014, which I do think they will, because I think next year has a lot of potential to be really, really good, especially with Batista coming back. So it's going to be a fun year, I think. But okay, let's get into the categories here. Of course, the first category is the theme song of the year. Basically, a theme song that I consider to be the best or more enjoyable, or, you know, basically gets the biggest reaction when people hear it or whatnot. In my opinion, the theme song of the year will have to go to the Real Americans. In my opinion, that song debuted when Swagger started using it at the Chamber. I thought it was the dumbest theme in the world, but it started getting over with me. It got over with the crowd. Everyone pops every time they hear it. It's a great theme. I really like it. I enjoy it. I'd say the close theme songs that come close to becoming the theme song of the year next to this one, I'd say is Curtis Axel's and Cody Rhodes and Goldust's theme. Those would probably be second and third best theme of the year. But I still get to the Real Americans. I know a lot of people are probably going to say that the Wyatt family's theme is the best, but in reality, they've been using that theme for 2 years. I know they didn't debut it until this year, but for theme song of the year, I like to keep it like a fresh theme that just was made. You know, since Wyatt's been using that for 2 years at NXT and whatnot, I don't consider it, you know, a new theme, even though they didn't use it, or it was just introduced to the main roster and they debuted. But you know what I mean. The theme song of the year, The Real Americans. Next, Diva of the Year. Okay, this one's simple. I don't have to explain this one. AJ Lee. No one comes close, in my opinion. AJ Lee, Diva of the Year. No doubt about it. Most improved. Now, I think this one's going to surprise a lot of people, because a lot of people don't consider these two guys. Well, I just gave away its tag team. It's most improved. But a lot of people like to try and look at people like, you know, who's really progressed. But in my opinion, these two guys have progressed more than almost anyone. And for me, the most improved this year is the Usos. I felt these guys have improved tremendously. When they first debuted, they sucked. They were terrible. They weren't really experienced in the ring. But, you know, if you look at them compared to last year to now, they've improved so much in-ring wise. They have their own t-shirts now. You know, they're on TV weekly. They're over. They've improved tremendously in my eyes. And I believe that the most improved to go to the Usos. I think they deserve it. And I can definitely see them being future tag team champions pretty soon. Maybe by the end of next year. I'm not going to say like next month or so. But definitely Usos are the most improved in my eyes. Best DVD release of the year. You know, I think a lot of people foreshadow this DVD. I think a lot of people, when they look at it, they would go for either the Triple H DVD, which is what a lot of people are saying, or they'll go for the History of WWE, and possibly the Mankind DVD. Usually people go for the documentaries for best DVD release, but in my eyes, the best DVD release of the year would have to go to the Best of In Your House. Let me just grab it. It's right here in front of me. The Best of In Your House. This DVD, honestly, is the DVD I had the most fun watching this entire year. This set, from start to finish, was just tremendous. Okay. Sorry, that was my phone. It alerted me about my eBay watch stuff. But yeah, just this set was just, it was awesome. I really enjoyed it. The matches on here were great. Like, you know, the great match right there, for instance, Shawn Michaels and Diesel, No Holds Barred from In Your House at 96. This was just an awesome set. I have watched this set on Skype with my friends. This was just a tremendous set. Definitely DVD year, in my opinion. Just extremely, extremely fun watch there. I'll just set it down. I'll put it back later. But yeah, Best In Your House, best DVD release, in my opinion. Most disappointing match of the year. This one is quite simple to me, and this could go to either one. either their Battleground or Hell in a Cell match, and you probably know what I'm talking about. Daniel Bryan versus Randy Orton for the WWE Championship. I'd say either their Battleground match or their Night of Champions, or not Night of Champions, their Hell in a Cell match. Either of those are most disappointing match of the year. Their Night of Champions match, to me, I really liked that match. I thought that match was great, actually. But the Battleground and Hell in a Cell were just, they were good, but they were nowhere near what they should have been. And it's not their fault. It wasn't their fault that their matches were the way they were. It was the environment which they were working in. You know, the whole authority thing where at Battleground you had Big Show coming out and knocking them out, which ended pay-per-view shitty like that. Then at Hell in a Cell you had Triple H and Shawn involved. Just the working environments they had in those matches, why the match wasn't as good as it should have been. I mean, it's been proven they have great matches. Their street fight in June, I think it was, where Daniel Bryan made Orton tap out. Great match. Their match on Raw a few weeks ago, people are saying that was their best match they've ever had. Like, they are capable of having great matches. It was just the working environment which they were in during their pay-per-view series, I believe, which is why their matches didn't live up to the hype. So most disappointing match, you can give to Orton and Bryan for me the Battleground or Hell in a Cell. It doesn't matter. They're the same match, basically, anyways. It's the same two guys, so that's definitely most disappointing. Now this one, most overrated superstar. Now, in my eyes, this came down to two guys, and I wanted to give it to the other guy, but if they do what's been rumored that it's going to happen to him next year, which you probably already know who I'm talking about then, he's automatically getting most overrated 2014. I can tell you guys that already. But in my opinion, the most overrated 2013, Curtis Axel. He is mildly, or was mildly overrated. When he debuted, everyone jumped on his bandwagon, and now look at him. No one even cares about him. No one even likes him that much anymore. Now, Curtis Axel, I'm not giving him the most overrated because I don't like him. When he debuted and they brought him in, they hyped him up more than he should have been. In my eyes, he's decent in the ring. He's horrible on the mic. He's horrendous on the mic. And, I mean, he does have good matches every now and then. Like, his matches with Miz were pretty good. His matches with Jericho were good. But just, they brought him in as a Heyman guy, which immediately put a bad taste in my mouth right at the get-go. They gave him the Intercontinental Championship undeservingly a month into his debut, or his return as his debut as Curtis Axel. And it was just, he wasn't even supposed to be in that match. They just threw him in that match and gave him the title for no reason, none deservingly. He was a decent champion, you know, he had quite a few title defenses, successful title defenses in his belt, no pun intended. So I'll give him credit for that, but just, when he brought him in, they really just try to make him as way bigger than he actually is. Like, his victories over Triple H and John Cena were just like, this is so stupid. But Curtis Axel, to me, they overrated him bad when he first came. They tried to make him a big deal, and he was a big flop, obviously. So, in my eyes, most overrated goes to Curtis Axel. Most underrated. Now, this one is kind of funny because this is the guy I actually said was going to be the guy to look out for this year, and he ended up being the most underrated guy in my eyes, which is Antonio Cesaro. This guy was mildly underused this year for whatever reason. He came in as a champion, or this year as the United States champion. He was on a roll, and then when Mania came around, he started losing matches to Del Rio, to just everyone. He was losing matches, lost the U.S. title, wasn't even on Mania card. He just obliterated into nothing. Then he got picked right back up for the Real Americans. And the Real Americans are a great tag team, by the way. I'm not taking anything away from them. They're a great tag team. And, you know, he's just so impressive. His matches with Bryan, Orton, any of his tag team matches or singles matches, this guy always shines. The Cesaro swing, everyone always pops for it. You know, like when I went to the house show a few weeks ago, when the opponent, one of the Usos on the ground, people are just chanting, Cesaro swing, to the Cesaro swing. And he wasn't even getting indication he's going to do it. He just knocked the opponent down. Everyone wanted to do Cesaro swing because it's an awesome move. And when he hooks the leg up for the Cesaro swing, everyone always pops for it. So Antonio Cesaro, definitely most underrated. He should definitely be a bigger position than he is right now. But hopefully next year it'll be a big year for Antonio Cesaro. Feud of the Year. Now this one, it's pretty easy. CM Punk versus Paul Heyman. I think for the fact because WWE didn't really invest in a lot of feuds. A lot of the feuds went maybe a month or two, if 3, you know, like Cena and Ryback only went like 2 months. Cena and Bryan only went a month. Orton and Bryan went a couple months, but they didn't really do anything. It was just Orton and Bryan in the beginning, and then just obliviated all about the Big Show. So WWE really didn't invest in feuds this year, so that's probably a big reason why CM Punk and Paul Heyman got Feud of the Year, for me at least. And because their promos were great. You know, when Heyman and Punk get on the mic, especially going against each other, it's gold. So Feud of the Year, CM Punk and Paul Heyman. Face of the Year, no doubt about it, Daniel Bryan. This man has the crowd in the palm of his hand all year, and he definitely deserves to be Face of the Year. No explanation, just he's Face of the Year. No doubt about it. Markout Moment of the Year. Okay, now this one, I know a lot of people are going to say Daniel Bryan wins the WWE Championship from John Cena at SummerSlam, or Ziggler winning the world title when he cashed in. Those are probably the two popular ones. To me, I marked out like hell for those ones. I'm not going to lie. I'm not going to sit here and say that I didn't. I marked out huge. But what kind of like tampered down my mark out was I kind of expected them. Did Ziggler cash in? I'm pretty sure everyone knew that he was going to cash in either at Mania or the day after Mania, so everyone in the world saw that coming. But for Daniel Bryan, everyone knew Cena was injured. You know, we knew the title may be taken off Cena. We knew Bryan was going to win that match. A lot of people knew he was going to win that match. So I'm not going to sit there and say that those like dampened the moment, but it didn't. You know, I would have marked out more if I didn't see it coming. But something I did not see coming that happened was Chris Jericho's return at the Royal Rumble, which I'll be giving that markout moment of the year. No one saw that coming. Everyone jumped out of their seats immediately when they heard that music and pyro. It was an insane moment. Definitely a great moment for Chris Jericho. So definitely that goes for markout year moment of the year for me, just because I did not see that coming. It just completely out of left field. So Jericho return at the Rumble definitely is the markout moment of the year for me. Next, Tag Team of the Year. Now this one is another simple one, an easy one. It's going to go to the Shields, Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns. I think they've been the tag teams been the most consistent with their matches. Whether they're a trio with with Dean Ambrose, or just having tag team matches with tag team titles, or just tag matches in general, they've always shined. Their matches with Cody Rhodes and Goldust, the Usos have just been great. They're such a great tag team, and they've definitely been the most dominant tag team throughout this entire year. So definitely Seth Rollins and Roman Reigns tag team of the year for me. Next, best on the mic, I'm actually going to say Paul Heyman. Just the way he's been selling people on, whether he's promoting Brock Lesnar or CM Punk, or hell, even Curtis Axel. He made Axel somewhat believable in some of his promos, even though he was just completely bullshitting about how good Axel was. But Heyman, he was great. He's great on the mic. It's Paul Heyman. But, to me, it was either Heyman, Cena, or Punk. But I'm going to give it to Heyman just because the way he sells things and the way like he would grab your attention in his promos, just definitely best on the mic in my eyes. Heel of the Year, we really didn't have a dominant heel throughout the entire year when you think about it. I know people are most likely going to say either Orton or Triple H, or aka The Authority, but when you think about it, Orton didn't really become a dominant heel until like a month ago. Like now, Orton's just a badass dominant heel kicking everyone's ass, but he wasn't like that until last month when you think about it. Until it was announced that he was going to have him and Cena in a TLC match. That's when he started becoming a badass. And The Authority, which they were complete assholes at the beginning of their turn, just recently they haven't really been heelish. They act more as faces now. They're the heels that try to act good, but people still hate them. They're just those kind of heels. So I'm actually going to give this the heel of the year, or I should say heels of the year, to the Shield. They've been the guys that have just been the most dominant force heel-wise. They've been the most dominant force the entire year in general. The Shield, just attacking Rock, attacking John Cena, Ryback, whoever it is. The Shield has always been dominant, and every time, you hear their music, whoever's in the ring shit in their pants because they know they're about to get their ass whipped. So heels of the year go to the Shield. Show of the year. Now this one can go to two shows in my eyes. Well, you can make a case for 3 or 4 pay-per-views that could be show of the year. But this one, I think people are going to say SummerSlam show of the year, in which I do think that is the best overall show of the year. But I'm going to give show of the year to the Royal Rumble, because to me that was the most consistent show. That was the most fun show out of the entire year in my eyes. Because SummerSlam, you have that horrible match with Kane, Bray Wyatt. The Divas match no one cared about really, but there's maybe 2 or 3 matches on SummerSlam that was just Where with the Royal Rumble, I believe every match was either good to great. I mean, keep in mind there were only a handful of matches because it's a Royal Rumble, but everything on there was really good. The pre-show U.S. title match with Miz Cesaro, that was a really good pre-show match. Del Rio and Big Show had a great last man standing match. The tag team titles with Road Scholars and Hell No was good. The Rumble match was very, very good. That was probably the best Rumble match since maybe 2008, 2009. Since then, yeah. The last couple of years I haven't really liked the Rumble match, but this year I really enjoyed it. And of course you had Punk and Rock, which was very good as well. So the entire show as a whole, I give show of the year to the Royal Rumble because that was the most consistent show and great show. It's a very, very fun show. So show of the year, Royal Rumble in my eyes. Next, we have promo of the year. Now this one could go to 3 different things in my eyes. You can either give it to Cena and Bryan on Miz TV from before SummerSlam, which I was there, by the way. Just throw that in there. Cena and Orton's promo from a few weeks ago. I think it was the Championship Ascension or whatever it was. It was before TLC. But the promo that stood out the most would have to be Mark Henry's retirement speech. That one, you know, the day before it, he was announcing on Twitter, like, oh, tune into my retirement speech on Raw, and no one bought into it. No one's like, you ain't gonna retire, Henry. But when he came out and spoke, and he saw the tears, and you saw him, you know, telling his family, Daddy's coming home, you believed it. You believed, holy shit, this guy actually is retiring. Like, I couldn't believe it. I was like, oh my god, like, I just thought it was just something to get people talking, and then when he came out, he'd be like, oh, I'm not retiring or whatever, but he legitimately got people thinking, oh my god, he's retiring. Like, people bought into it. And, you know, the whole turn with Cena at the end was just a tremendous turn. Just a great, great promo by Mark Henry. Probably his best he's ever done. Everyone fell for it. Everyone believed it. And it led to a good feud between the two and a good match in Money in the Bank. So definitely promo of the year goes to Mark Henry's retirement speech. Alright, what else? I think we're almost done here. Match of the year. Now this one, you can make a legitimate case for maybe 4 or 5 matches. I know a lot of people are going to say CM Punk vs. The Undertaker from WrestleMania. John Cena vs. Daniel Bryan from SummerSlam. CM Punk vs. Brock Lesnar from SummerSlam. But the match that happened, and no match, well, I'm not going to say no match came close, but no match topped it in my eyes, was CM Punk versus John Cena from Monday Night Raw on February 25th, I believe, 2013 edition of Monday Night Raw. That match was, I love that match. I'm so glad I own that. It's on the History of WWE Championship, the History of WWE DVD. Most likely going to be in the Best of Raw and SmackDown DVD that comes out next month. But that match was just a phenomenal match from top to bottom. Those two, ever since their Money in the Bank match, they have never had a bad match since. They're so, when they have a big time match, they deliver. And, you know, the Punk and Lesnar match and Bryan and Cena match come close to it. I would say they're just beneath them. Like, if you were to rate it and just say Punk and Cena's a 10, I'd probably say Lesnar in the SummerSlam main event matches are probably at like a 9.5. They're just underneath it in my eyes. But Cena and Punk definitely takes the cake for match of the year. Just a tremendous match, and just it was awesome. I love that match. So match of the year, CM Punk versus John Cena. Superstar of the year, I'm pretty sure this is another easy one you can choose from or say. Daniel Bryan, Superstar of the year, without a doubt. He's a guy who's basically made this year. Him and the Shield made this year. Daniel Bryan he walked into the year as a tag team champion, going around saying I'm the tag team champions, and he was called the weak link. Then became number one contender for the WWE Championship. He won the WWE Championship. He main evented at several pay-per-views. Let's count how many pay-per-views he main evented. Money in the Bank, SummerSlam, Night of Champions, Battleground, and Hell in a Cell. He main evented 5 pay-per-views. And he co-main evented like 2 or 3 pay-per-views. I know he co-main evented Payback. I'm pretty sure he did. He co-main evented, I think, he co-main evented TLC, he co-main evented Survivor Series. So he co-main evented 3 pay-per-views while main eventing 5. This guy he definitely broke out of his shell this year, and Daniel Bryan definitely deserves to be called Superstar of the Year. This was his year, and I can't wait to see what he does in 2014, because I believe he'll do bigger things in 2014. I'm excited to see what they do with him. And of course, the last thing is the superstar to look out for in 2014. This guy is what everyone's saying, and I can't disagree. Roman Reigns. This guy, I believe, when the Shield breaks up, which will probably be either around or at WrestleMania, I believe will happen. This guy's going to break out and become a huge star. When you look at him, you just see nothing but dollar signs in my eyes. His spear is money. His look is money. Everything about this guy shouts money when he's a single star, I believe. And it's going to be very, very, very fun to see Roman Reigns rise to the top when he breaks out from the Shield. It's going to be definitely a great time. But yeah, that was my awards video for 2013. I love how I started the video saying that this was not an awards video, and I just said it was an awards video. I'm an idiot. But best 2013 video. Hope you guys enjoyed it. 2013, like I said, a year for WWE. Not the best, but it was mediocre to decent. I'll just say that. But 2014, Definitely interested to see what brings to the table. Like I said, we already have Batista coming out. WrestleMania 30, we have a lot of rumors what's going to happen. It's going to be a fun time, and hopefully 2014 is going to be a great year. And thank you guys for watching, and I'll catch you guys later. Peace.